ran into David Gergen, the Karl Rove of 4 presidential administrations. The Bohemian Grove, when you joined as a Clinton advisor, the Republicans were criticizing you. Oh, what about Bohemian Grove? And then you countered them by saying, "Hey, I don't run around in the woods naked." What did that mean? Here is the before-mentioned Washington Times article where he said, "I didn't run around naked like they do."
I don't know what quote you're referring to. I'm not aware of any quote like that. Listen, I am a happy member of the Bohemian Grove. I like the folks who come there, and it's really inappropriate for me to talk about the group beyond that.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care?
Frankly, I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Really?
That's right.
Well, I'm Alex Jones, and I snuck in there in 2000. I'm the guy that blew it wide open. We got the video. It's been on national TV.
Well, I disrespect you for that. That was not a gentlemanly thing to do.
But what about the ritual? Is the ritual gentlemanly?
Thank you. Think about it. It's none of your damn business.
Oh, look how strangely he behaved when we brought it up. Why is he acting so secretive? Why did he get so angry when he discovered that we'd snuck in? You see, they take it very, very seriously. This is one of the hallmarks of the occult and secret societies. The word occult means secret. Secrecy is part of their religion. They revel in it. And when it's violated, they become extremely angry.
One might wonder, understandably, why the people that run the banking, political, economic system and the media in America should be dressed in long robes doing a ceremony to a 40-foot stone owl. I think we should be told so. So what's it all about when they're sacrificing children, the deity in the modern world today that they use to sacrifice them to is Moloch or Molech. As I was looking through a Washington street map, I found this around the Congress building, this Congress building in the middle. And just by drawing in red pen on the roads within the Congress building complex, very obviously an owl appears. But when you look at the next shot, this is not being doctored by me in any way with a red pen. This is just a shot directly from a Washington street plan. And there you see around the Congress building the owl, Moloch, the deity going back to Babylon and this whole story I've been talking about. And he's actually sitting on top of a pyramid. A pyramid and all-seeing owl, just like the pyramid and all-seeing eye. Because the owl and the eye symbolize the same thing, this force which controls the world through these bloodlines.
Are you beginning to see how deep this tunnel goes? The armies of Shaitan have been working and planning for years. Their symbol has always been right in front of our eyes.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
The plan has been put into play, and the weapons are locked and loaded in your living rooms. In today's society, people are getting more and more engaged with modern media. Television, cinema, video games, music, the internet. Through these tools, they are feeding your subconscious with mass amount of information, transforming you into the kind of person they want. They are teaching you their definitions of right and wrong, morals and values, forcing you to accept that the way the world is running is the only correct way. The media plays a significant role in providing the basis to determine a person's view of the world. So it is only logical that any one group that is in control of the major media outlets worldwide are in effect in control of the beliefs, ideas, and values of the individuals tuned in, and thus in control of the world. And it is this fact that the Illuminati are exploiting. They are using the entertainment industry to condition the people into their way of thinking. The goal is simple: to repeat the same form of information, whether directly or subliminally, until you believe that these are your own unique ideas, when in fact it is just a result of their conditioning. The proof? Ask yourself, who is currently running the media in most of the world? If you do the research, you will find it is the same type of minority that survives within secret societies: Zionists, Luciferians, Freemasons. They own and run the mainstream media and entertainment industries for the sole purpose of conditioning you through mind control. Did you think it was just a coincidence that this group of people have found a way to own the media in all its forms? Not at all, especially when you come to the realization that their survival depends on you being brainwashed into their way of thinking. Can a free-thinking society allow themselves to be ruled by tyrants? Never. So in effect, they have carried out a well-devised sinister plan to spread corruption among society. Because when a society becomes corrupt and lost, it becomes easy to control. Why? Because one who stands for nothing will fall for anything. And that is the society they are building for the arrival of the Antichrist. They grab your children first, invite them into a world of innocence, then slowly transform that world into the type that fits them, and in effect, they transform your children as well. The evolution of the stars or idols of the media should be clear enough to show you how they are raising your children as they grow up. Pure entertainment, right? Let's take a trip into memory lane and see what we were exposed to as children. These are only the obvious images. But what about the subliminal? How have they attacked your children's subconscious? The artists behind some of our most beloved animated films begin with drawing a sexual image and then concealing it with the rest of the artwork in order to create some of the characters your children love today. This, in effect, activates the child's sexuality at a very early age. The origin of this psychological warfare started in Nazi Germany, which they called World View Warfare, to condition their people into supporting the Nazi regime. The Americans picked up on this idea since it worked so effectively with the Nazis and have been using it ever since. They have raised a generation of sex-hungry slaves.
You could be the father of this child?
Cause she sleeps, I heard she slept with 19 guys around my neighborhood. 19.
In the case of 7-month-old Jeremiah, Anthony, you are not. And Lee, you are not. After testing 5 men, Eva has failed to find the father of her daughter Eternity and her son Christopher.
In a world where the music industry is one of the most dominant and influential tools available, it is only logical to understand how important such a tool has become for the servants of the Dajjal.
I was the manager of Zodiac Productions, which Zodiac Productions name's been changed since then. I'm not even sure what to call it now, but it's the largest music conglomerate in the world. It owns RCA Records, Columbia Records, Motown Records, owns almost all the concert booking agencies in the United States. And that's not even the name of the company that owns it. The name of the company that owns it is Brenner Enterprises, and Brenner Enterprises is owned by Chase Manhattan. Chase Manhattan's owned by Standard Oil, and Standard Oil is owned by the Lords of London. You can track it on back. You kind of get the idea after a while. But I was the managing president of Zodiac Productions. It's one of my jobs as being one of these 13 people. Thus, I got to know many of the people who produce music and sing the music and play the music that you play. Now, one of the closest friends that I got during that time that I attained was a man named David Crosby. Crosby, Still, Nash & Young. I saw David the day before Christmas last year. I said, David, I'd like to ask you a couple questions. I said, I already know the answers, but I've been gone for 5 years. I'd like to know if certain things are still the way they were when I left. I said, now I'll have to explain some of this when I'm done, because you're not going to understand it all unless you know something about music. I said, do they still take the master to the temple room? Dave said, yeah. I said, do they still have the Coven conjure demons into the master? He said, of course. I said, now, I got to know something. What's the main reason for rock music? He said, come on, Lance, you know what the reason is. I said, please, David, I don't want to guess. Tell me what the main reason is. He said, the same as when you were in, so that we can play spells on people that we couldn't cast spells upon. Elton John has said he's never written a song or sung a song that wasn't in which language. Now, I want to show you something. See how many of these kids in here will be honest and adults. How many remember and have heard at least several times a song called Hotel California? Somebody tell me what it meant. Stop and think how many songs are out there that you really like and you don't have any idea what the person was talking about. And you don't have any idea what the person was talking about. And you don't have any idea what the person was talking about.
There are many tools that are allowing the system of the Antichrist Dajjal to flourish. One of the most effective tools is the indoctrination of the masses through the media. Either directly or subliminally, they are implanting messages into your subconscious. What might seem as a love song directed towards the spouse is in fact a direct worship to the Dajjal, his system, and his master, Satan. In Britney Spears' I'm a Slave for You, we witness her chanting her words of worship. Draped in a snake, the biblical image of Satan as highlighted in the book of Genesis. As she sexually dances with the reptile, she is confessing to the entire world on live television that she is a slave for him. These celebrities are nothing more than puppets, being controlled from behind the scenes. And it's been in our faces this whole time. When you discover who runs the music industry and what their agendas are, only then will you be able to understand what is really going on. But one cannot fully grasp the length to which satanic pop music has been utilized unless we study the queen of pop, Madonna. This is only one example of perhaps any of her music videos and songs, all of which can be dissected as such. Her words seem to be coming straight out of the mouth of Satan, luring you into his world. She first begins with an invitation to open up our hearts and minds, hinting that by restraining ourselves, we're frozen.
You only see what your eyes want to see. How can life be what you want it to be? You're frozen. Your heart's not open.
Certain Islamic traditions narrate that the jinn shapeshift into black birds. Almost a direct reference is made by her ritualistic connection with these beings.
If I could melt your heart, we'd never be apart. Give yourself to
Again, like the jinn, Madonna shapeshifts into a black dog.
What's wrong with me? It's a thief in the night to come and grab you. It can creep up inside you and consume you. A disease of the mind, it can control you. If you post for comfort, disturb your life. It's like the darkness is light. Disturb your life. It's like the darkness is light. The darkness is light. Darkness is light.
Stop and think how many songs are out there that you really like, and you don't have any idea what the person was talking about.
This journey will not be an easy one, but it is a necessary path to achieve your freedom. What is the most efficient and effective way to control the world? By controlling the thoughts of the masses. If you have the world thinking the way you want them to, then there would be very little need to force them to do anything. They will line up willfully to do your bidding.
Now you might be noticing I don't feel about that war the way we were told we were supposed to feel about that war, the way we were ordered and instructed by the United States government to feel about that war. See, my mind doesn't work that way. I got this real moron thing I do, it's called thinking. And I'm not a really good American because I like to form my own opinions. I don't just roll over when I'm told to. Sad to say, most Americans just roll over on command. Not me. Not me. I have certain rules I live by. My first rule, I don't believe anything the government tells me. Nothing. Zero.
The greatest form of control is where you think you're free when you're being fundamentally manipulated and dictated to. One form of dictatorship is being in a prison cell and you can see the bars and touch them. The other one is sitting in a prison cell but you can't see the bar, you think you're free. What the human race is suffering from is mass hypnosis. We are being hypnotized by people like this. Newsreaders, politicians, teachers, lecturers.
And I don't take very seriously the media or the press in this country, who are nothing more than unpaid employees of the Department of Defense, and who most of the time function as kind of an unofficial public relations agency for the United States government.
Because if you're a believer, you can never justify war. You can never justify war. You can never justify colonialism or neo-colonialism or imperialism. You can't justify that if you're really a believer of the book where it talks about the least of these. And as I say, our role in life is that the blessed of us must help the rest of us until the rest of us become the blessed of us.
The real owners, the big wealthy
ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. By the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long. They tell you what to believe all day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream. Because you have to be asleep to believe it.
The control and manipulation of public opinion has been the Illuminati's greatest weapon in gaining control of countries and states. Once they are in control of our minds, then the people begin to act in a manner that fits their agendas. Thus, they remove any form of opposition to their cause. The greatest threat to their plan, more so than any amount of weaponry, is a free thinking mind. As such, they set about an attempt to control perhaps every aspect of our everyday life, ensuring their agenda moves on unhinged. The weapons they are using? Well, they can be found in your very homes, entertaining you and your children, gradually indoctrinating you without you even realizing it.
And in order to further this process of transformation of mankind into carbon copies of themselves, they bring to the world something called globalization. The whole world becomes connected. The whole world becomes interconnected. And as the world becomes interconnected, television is used as the master instrument for brainwashing the rest of mankind.
And why is that woe to us? Because you people and 62 million other Americans are listening to me right now. Because less than 3% of you people read books. Because less than 15% of you read newspapers. Because the only truth you know is what you get over this tube. Right now, there is an entire generation that never knew anything that didn't come out of this tube. This tube is the gospel, the ultimate revelation. This tube can make or break presidents. So you listen to me. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom-killing business. So if you want the truth, go to God. Go to your gurus. Go to yourselves. Because that's the only place you're ever going to find any real truth.
They have put in place institutions which will ensure that that society will continue to be ruled by them, by property, and in the process they seek to transform the rest of mankind into carbon copies of themselves.
As you study certain artists, you realize a struggle between those who want to use music for negative outcomes and those who wish to heal the world through music. Michael Jackson, for example, was thoroughly aware of their plans. Such artists, they will do their best to place obstacles in their way. If more serious steps are needed, first they will try to destroy your public image, and when necessary, they will take you out.
He had this idea, it was kind of a virologist's idea. He believed that you could cure racism and hate, literally cure it, by injecting music and love into people's lives. One day he was scheduled to perform at a peace rally. Gunmen came to his house and shot him down. 2 days later, he walked out on that stage and sang. Somebody asked him why. He said, the people who are trying to make this world worse are not taking a day off. How can I light up the darkness?
Don't let them fool you. Or even try to fool you. Oh no.
I mean, here it is the natural instinct, and here is control. You are to combine the two in harmony. Not if you have one to the extreme, you will be very unscientific. If you have another to the extreme, you become all of a sudden a mechanical man, no longer a human being. So it is a successful combination of both. So therefore, it is not only, so therefore it's not pure naturalness or unnaturalness. The ideal is unnatural naturalness or natural unnaturalness. I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
They don't want that sort of message dominating the industry. Instead, they push them out to make way for their appointed singers. If one looks at the Freemasonic symbol, one recognizes the one eye. The Queen of Pop, Madonna, has long been part of the Jewish sect, the Kabbalah, a religion that is inseparable from the Freemasons. Madonna has become one of the leading Illuminati tools in the entertainment industry. Although not all musical artists are their servants, the majority of them work as tools for the Illuminati and the Dajjal. Most of the stars are ignorant to their actions, but some know the agenda very well. Industry heads are determined to use entertainment as a means of corruption. You find this most noticeably in pop music, where the artists do not write their own music, lyrics, or even select their songs. They are just puppets and merely do what they are told. And since the Illuminati control the industry, they control which songs become hits and which become failures. Through these stars, the Illuminati continues to indoctrinate us with their latest trends.
The minute I started breaking the all-time record of record sales, I broke Elvis's records, I broke Beatles' records. The minute it became the all-time best-selling albums in history in the Guinness Book of World Records, overnight they called me a freak, they called me a homosexual, they called me a child molester, they said I tried to bleach my skin, they made everything to turn the public against me. This was all complete conspiracy. You have to know that.
Law enforcement official tells the Associated Press Los Angeles County coroner has ruled Michael Jackson's death a homicide.
Hollywood itself is a word. The word is interesting because it's a word that comes from a pagan. Hollywood is the holy wood, and it was the wood that the magical wands were made out of in the pagan sorcery, magic. And these wands were believed that the sorcerers that possessed them could put people into trances and control them. This is part of, I mean, this is symbolic, but it's also important to understand that part of what Hollywood literally does is it puts people into trances. It's a dream state. They call it the dream machine in the United States. And it creates fantasies for people. It puts people into these sleep. Now, one of the things is interesting that in the part of what's done in movie theaters, in darkened rooms where people watch television, is literally a trance state that occurs. What's called suspended state of disbelief. You enter into a state, you suspend your disbelief and enter into a state whereby you begin to believe what you internally realize is imagination. It's falsehood. And people get caught up in them. People cry during films. All this catharsis that takes place in these things. Many of the films, and this is an important element in the control mechanism, is literally allow people to go and have certain type of catharsis as a purging experience, which Aristotle talks about the necessary element. One of the necessary elements of tragedy is to create this cathartic experience. And this is why a lot of the films, especially also news and things like that, they have this tragic, cathartic experience of watching the tragedies of others and then feeling safe and complacent in their own experience of the suspended state of illusory well-being. So these are very intricate and sophisticated methods. Now, I think it's dangerous. Although there are elements, there's concerted efforts that take place, there's also a lot of people that have similar worldviews that aren't necessarily working together in concerted efforts. But the corporate elite is a very small group of people. They really are. It's not a large group of people, and these people definitely have very powerful agendas, and they're working towards them.
When pulling the strings behind the various forms of media, those in control would in most cases place two parallel messages on display. One, which is the direct surface message that everyone catches. The other, however, is the deeper and more symbolic message being delivered to you. This technique is thoroughly established in the realm of Hollywood. One of the many examples of such use of dual messages is Hollywood's use of the Lady in Red, a constantly repetitive image in virtually most films. The concept of the Lady in Red plays a large role in the delivery of certain messages to the viewer. The choice of the color itself is interesting, since the color has always been associated with sexual desire. In fact, Eastern schools of spirituality, when dealing with a person's chakras, connect the color red with the sacral chakra. Basically, the lowest level where spirituality is overtaken by physical urges. So what is the significance of the lady in red that we see so overly used in the media? This is Connie Nielsen, playing the role of the lady in red in the film, The Devil's Advocate. The film stars Keanu Reeves as an ace lawyer who is offered the chance of a lifetime to work for one of the most successful law firms in the country. As we later learn in the film, the man who offered him this job is in fact Satan himself. One of the ways in which Satan wins over Reeves' soul is through Connie Nielsen's character, the lady in red. She is, in the end, his weakness. The lady in red represents a more exciting life. She is a distraction from the straight path. She is everything we've been told that we want. She can make us believe that having her will make our life better. But will it? She is Satan's secret weapon, representing all your carnal desires of sex, money, and fame. Through her, you will choose temporary pleasures above heavenly ones. Through her, Satan will win over your soul. He has her waiting for you on every corner, in the shape and form of materialism, sexual desire, and all other paths he tries to lure you into.
Listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? I was... Look again.
The bigger picture is clearing up. You now see the system for what it is. Awakening to the truth isn't easy, and whether you like it or not, your life is going to change.
Can't go back, No. But if you could, would you really want to?
will come many battles between the oppressors and you. However, the most immediate battle, and the one they are winning, is the battle for your soul. As wars come and go, the war for your mind, body, and soul will never end. And this is why each and every one of us are involved in this system. So what are we, really? The Eastern spiritual schools see the body as having energy points. The sacral point. This deals generally with your sexual energy. To enrich this point positively, it must be used as such. The navel point. This deals with personal power and storage of the life force. To build one's life force correctly, one must eat healthy and natural foods. The heart point. This deals with compassion, love, respect, and emotional fulfillment. As such, to energize this section, one must conduct healthy relationships, love, harmony, and respect with others. The throat point. This deals with communication and self-expression. And finally, the crown point. This deals with wisdom, intuition, awareness, and if all other points are in harmony, the crown also brings balance to spirituality. According to the Eastern schools, it is only by enriching each of these chakras in the right way can you reach your potential as a human being to become a free soul. We find a similar tone within Islam. For the sacral point, we can learn to benefit from the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, who taught us the benefits of marriage. For the navel point, our Prophet taught us to fill our stomachs with 1/3 food, 1/3 water, and 1/3 air, and to eat food bought from money that is blessed and legitimate. For the heart point, our Prophet told us that he had come to complete teachings of respect and compassion, and that our heart was to be dedicated as such towards others and towards Allah. For the throat point, our Prophet always taught us to speak the truth and to speak with kindness. And for the crown, we were taught to contemplate about the creation of Allah. Therefore, one must invest and enrich all their physical, mental, and emotional requirements into the righteous path. That is what frees a man. And the Illuminati know this very well. It is no coincidence that their targets are the very same points we've discussed. One by one, they've attacked our energy points in the very order they exist.